way, but of course lead mid does present itself as an option, worst case scenario. And
10
it's a good start for being second pick. You usually want to pick up a combo for second pick. I think a lot of teams forget or they forego this advantage because they try to pick up a meta hero, because there's a couple of heroes that seem like really strong right now. Like in SA, we're seeing this very often where they'll pick up one of the meta carries because they have to, right? If you don't pick up terribly DOTA or Luna, I'm losing my game. And in Eastern Europe, where team fight is a bit more important, I feel like using this for a combo is definitely more justified. So I like to start with Empire. For Navi, Hoodwink, Templar, a bit more standard, nothing too special. Good picks though. I'll take really.
Ten seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Radiant team pick. Navi's turn to pick. Luna.
The Big Templar, just to add on to that, one of the honestly easiest answers to that question is really it's just a very clean ladder. Most
10 seconds remaining.
Templars get combined nicely with an inning 4 that can go and gank pre-minute 15, which is usually when Templar comes online. Hoodwink is definitely one of them. Lion is another one of them. So you just pick this up with something that creates space. And as a ladder lineup, which is what I like to call it, it's a lineup that always has a power spike in the game. So 10-minute mark you can go hunting, 15-minute mark you can go hunting, and you can also even deviate into being I'm the one of the hunters. You can also deviate into being a 3-year lineup if you feel like it fits you. So the options are still there because of the Hoodwink. However, it is more because the Temple is just very clean on this lineup, easy to execute as well.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Navi's turn to pick.
I like this. It's good against the Hoodwink particularly.
Ten seconds remaining.
So for Navi, I mean, an option that's in the pool, it might be very greedy, but it is a very good match against Luna's terribly. We just got through these picks, the Medusa got banned, the Luna got picked, terribly, and like really top tier carry. But in the case of Navi, you also have a couple of options that you used to play a fair amount of times. Like V2 was very well known for Span a while ago. Also a decent matchup against Luna. They go for a life scooter on top of that. For now, they're gonna. By them picking up their offlaner here, I'm very surprised by that title pick. But by them picking up their offlaner here, they indicate that they feel like they have a lot of options for the carry. They're not really worried about the quarter matchup. As the two bans won't take away all of their options. They probably have a list of like at least
10
3.
seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Navi's turn to ban. Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining. Radiant team ban. Navi's turn to pick.
That's true.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
So if you want to match the... I was going to say, if you want to match the... I still like the TV here. I think it's fine, but of course it might be a bit too greedy. If you want to play a bit more tempo and also match Luna, I think Gyrocopter's always in the pool, but one of the B2 classics as well. Looks pretty solid here. Always looks solid. Never too sad to see the Gyrocopter. But against Mars, the thoughts I was having is actually Juggernaut and Lifestealer. I'm just not that big a fan of the Juggernaut. That's why I think the Lifestealer battle is pretty solid by Empire.
Radiant team pick.
Gyrocopter!
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
But they bounce. So yeah. The problems they have here is, as Empire, is that you don't have picks. The TA counters are not picks that the press could pick up. Like the other vendor and Fat Rider are still in the field. Those will actually be pretty picks, and the press kit isn't play. Ember Spirit actually a good suggestion.
You may now select your heroes.
No, that's mid lane. That's mid lane. Yeah, mid lane whatever is 9. Yeah, it is 100% mid lane. Okay.
Seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I like Empire Strap too. I think I'm a bit puzzled by the last 2 picks on Tide Gyrocopter. Like they're good picks if you look at their draft. It's like, okay, you can team fight, okay, you can match tempo, but also considering Empire Strap, I see a lot of ways to deal with them. So it's not like the lane for Tide is not that easy against Luna. The Gyrocopter sometimes struggles against this amount of burst damage as well. Mars can actually really crush Gyrocopter. So I'm actually siding with Team Empire's draft. And even I think Lena's kind of free, to be honest. Besides the TA matchup, like Hoodwink either catches you or there's nothing. They don't have anything that can cut the backlines and get to Lena easily. So yeah, I like Empire's draft a lot actually.
Isn't that a pretty thing? Prepare for battle.
你气不气？你气不气？
哇！ They give you a valuable camera segment, that's what we're gonna use it for. Talk about you cap, dude. Nobody cares. Why would you? Why? In case people don't know from it.
30 seconds to battle. The battle begins.
One thing I absolutely love about watching Eastern European games is that for the first moves, it seems like it's fight first and then consider if this fight's a good idea. Like, they both went into that triangle, they both thought, oh, we're strong at level 1, and then they both decided, no, we're not strong at level 1. At the same time, how is that possible? Right? The choices they make are not always thought out, and I mean beforehand, right? And that's awesome. They are such adaptable teams, both of them. I think in general, the Eastern European region do this a lot. And I mean, we saw this in the lower division when you see the two teams fight level 1, and then one team was clearly outclassing the other, and you'd be like, maybe Team B shouldn't have gone in there, but they did. So, the wonders of this region.
Not so.
Yep. So the lanes end up going. I mean, I agree with your assessment earlier where that Lina or TA is just not that bad a matchup for either, honestly. I do feel like people often consider Lina weak against TA because you just counter all her spells, but she has enough attack speed these days to be able to deal with you, right? And you just break the corruption charges with your auto attacks and you're good to go. The last inning might benefit TA ever so slightly, but Lina recovers in the jungle a bit faster. At least in the early levels. So, yeah, it's a pretty even matchup. Nothing too big on both sides. Bottom lane is where TI-10 was expecting them to lose the lane, and in fact it's happening as Ramsey
You've just achieved
will
first
lose
blood.
that first.
Thanks and have fun.
An offering worthy of the House of Natus.
In the bottom lane, I do feel like the Navi lane will have to find ways to control this wave, exactly just like this, pulling up pulls, making sure the waves connect, and perhaps even you might want Roger at one point to leave the lane and start getting stacks from the side, because if they're gonna fight head on, Avan is usually pretty good against Tide. The Luna does some very similar things, and Roger at best will only get a bushwhack to try to save him. Ramses wants to play this aggressively, but the moment you miss that anchor smash, you just kind of lost that. However, Empire's lane control has not been too great just yet, and the lane has been pretty much kept in that position for a while, giving Ramses a much unneeded really advantage in this lane. And bad score again with a little bushwhack. Smarry Knight. Yeah, he's just gonna protect the support for a while. They managed to get the creep wave back in position, as they want to make sure they can also put some harassment here for Yaki. However, the people are starting to stack. In the top lane, V2 wanted to get a kill against Petushara. Petushara even sees the opportunity to harass V2 for free. Lack of mana, however, impedes him from going further for his kill. Stop it.
Denied.
Worthy of a god's...
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
A tribute to my house.
Yeah, that's going to be Navi's biggest prerogative this game. How do you kill the Lina early? How do you kill the Wyvern as well? So no action in top lane might just stop. Oh, nice! Avoid the Splinter Blast there. And you have no follow-up. Vincere once again out of mana. The issue that's been plaguing this whole lane. So yeah, I mean, you have to kill the Wyvern first, and the TA is your solution, right? Because otherwise the Cold Embrace will save the Lina. Maybe you force the Cold Embrace, then you just bunch up around him. That's also an idea, but I feel like at that point you're really adding too many layers on top of this cake. It's too complex here for Navi. But with that said, if they can just avoid Lina's damage by getting a good BKB activation on Gyro, take advantage of your clearly superior team fight with the Ravage, you can also just kind of ignore the Lina for a bit and then kill her in the middle of the fight where she's trying to really dish out the damage. Yep. Yeah. Now you made him doubt it. I thought yes, and was the other. Yeah.
Demon gold.
Yep. As a real human, I only thought of emotions, and I immediately thought this is not a great type pick, so I was unaware if that was because of the Abaddon or because of the Luna, to be honest, in the moment. I honestly feel like the guy, right? The guy is not in the best of positions here. At least he does bring up better team fight than Mars, so there's that to the table. Manscore suffering a bit against the Squall, Roger with a double damage, but in comes the press kid, says, oh, get away from my support. So Nico will have to commit suicide. Laguna Blade Sunday, Roger will lose his life there. He thought, oh, he missed the stun. How is he to kill me now? Well, Laguna Blade to the face. Yep. I want to give credit to Ramses, but honestly, it's also a bit of an issue for Empire. The control of the lane in the early game was much superior by Navi, both on Roger and Navi and Ramses. They constantly connected waves, they used the pulls more effectively, Abandon could really couldn't match them. And I mean, partially it's because Hoodwink is a bit faster than Abandon, so that gives you an easier time pulling. Oh, Saneko dies in the top lane. But partially it was also a thing not doing good enough to control that lane. But Tushara quickly down, hit the Rocket Barrage, so you can divide the damage, but Tushara still has mana this time. Spear in 3 seconds. V2, on the other hand, he's the one who suffered. But Tushara doesn't want to go back in just yet. V2, okay. Rocket Barrage, that was not the spear you were hoping for, as you had to use it defensively. Although you're looking for the stun there, and V2 will be perfectly fine to continue farm.
Denied!
Blessings.
Yeah, well, I think that's appropriate as well. I mean, you can go even... I know you can go full Khalid here, but I think the early Dragonlance already helps your farming a bit, so why not, right? There's no need for you to go for the Desolator as quickly. You have a good draft on the setup for the old TA, your Blink Dagger Desolator. Your timing is not going to be very interrupted, I can't imagine. I mean, if I'm in the Empire draft, I'm probably waiting until my first big item on Mars before I start tanking, and that's going to take a while still. I think it should be the Blink Dagger as well. Yule Scepter is nice, but there's not much with this game. Soleko. Okay, once again, Disruption, or then another Spear though, and that was a perfect Spear actually. Really well calculated, but Soleko's not going to take too much of the arena damage. Doesn't seem to matter though. I think the body blocked, slowed, and now pierced through the heart.
Swiftly to the temple's defense.
Call me Lord no more.
Money to burn.
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
Yep, that's true. So defensively, it's not a complete save, but if you actually time them properly, they can also save you from the Spear on the other side, right? So there's that. I think the advantage, though, I mean, the combo of Save of Empire is much stronger, but as a result, you're also lacking in catch, at least in discipline. So the catch comes from boys. They're going to kill Vincere easily in the top lane. The sharpshooter, well done there by Roger and V2. Not much he could do, really, once he got caught by disruption.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Mid lane. No. Oh, like I said, it's the most appropriate build. I feel like at this point you're a fool if you don't go Dragonlance first on the TA. It just seems like it does so much. Like, for example, that wide, side plates. The attack coach getting out to the side plates spill is kind of insane. But Vincere, okay, he does feel the Tide Hunter, but there's no way you're killing this Tide. You will have the Ravage available. Yeah, they want to fight this for sure. They know the Ravage, they can force this. It's either tower or fight. There's no need for Ramses to go that far in. They just want to take the structures here. Okay, 2k lead for Navi for now though, so this lane's went honestly pretty well for them. I feel like they're starting to reach their item timings now, and Empire hasn't been able to utilize this Mars, unfortunately. I think is one of the issues they're starting to have here. Tide had much better lane than he had any right to because of really clever lane skipping. Well, these things come into play. So Ramses is online, whereas Vincere still struggling to find that Blink Dagger. And hell, when Ramses gets the Blink Dagger himself, you actually swap the playstyle of the Tide, and instead of being a counter initiator, you start
Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower is falling. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Dire's top tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack.
I wouldn't say they're trying to avoid the late game necessarily, but they're just trying to push the mid game, because that's where the biggest advantage comes from. With a TA and a Gyrocopter, right? Your power, you have an explosive lineup on the 25-1, where they're both strongest, really. And there's not much need for you to, like, sure, take this late game, I think you're fine if this goes late game, but if you can finish it mid game, why not, right? There's no need for you to itemize for the late game. There's no fear of Empire having this insane high ground defense. It's just kind of decent. There's no fear of them being too strong in the mid game, so you don't have them to take this late and be defensive. Now they can just continue to push their advantage. That's why I like this. These are the proper builds I think for this game, and we'll see once the TA comes online completely.
Dominating, I guess.
你气不气？
Dire's structures are fortified.
This is a very good fight. Ramses, though, coming in back in with the Shara. I was like, what? You're trying to hit my smiling knife, but there's a trap though there to slow me even further. Like, no, I want to go with the Shara. With the Shara, like the smiling knife with an defensive eclipse. But for now, he will survive thanks to it. Once they go up to the high ground, it's a bit scary to go up there with the eclipse still on. Finally done though, and Navi will retreat over the kill with the Shara. Still a good fight overall for Empire. Of course, that's maybe a bit of an overextension or a good read by Navi and acknowledging they could get a free kill off that. Very good trap setting as well. I really like that Lina in the Winter's Curse. She did two great. Honestly, the press kid was my MVP of that fight because she did two great things. First of all, she saw the sharpshooter and didn't try to go for the 3-man life strike array. Oh, wobble gobble. No, I'm just gonna hit the gyro. I know he has to die. We're not gonna concern ourselves with the die because it's just too hard to hit those 3 at the same time. Fair enough. Sometimes going easy is the way to go. And then in the fight, what he chose to do was actually chase down the supports, particularly the Hoodwink, which made it impossible for Navi to recover in that fight. Because like I said, your stuns or your catch is mostly in your supports. At least the reliable ones, bar Rabbit. So you couldn't really use the Bushwhack, then you just actually murder them. And that was a really good play.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Okay. Well done here by Navi. I think that Jark up the Diffusal Blade helped him out a lot really to get that little kill. Up top lane, we're seeing Vance just saying hi to Roger apparently. Okay. And his bottom, they're going to go for another gank. Yet again on the Shadow Demon. Not as strong as V2 though, so Sameko will have to die here. Nice disruption, only to give him more time before he dies. And the Fusel Blade helps Navi be offensive, doesn't give any defensive capability to the Gyrocopter though, so at best you can only muster a kill there, and that's why Empire is trying to hunt them down here, prevent them from being the ones leading the charges and controlling the tempo of the game.
Radiant are scattered. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Are scanning. Roshan has fallen to the dust. Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Vanspot, oh no, the trap, he dispels it immediately, and he will survive this, even if waiting not to. So, on the Soul Ring side, I don't love Soul Ring on Abba because it doesn't give you back HP when you're cursed, so it feels a bit weak, not gonna lie. You already are having HP problems too. I think a Holy Locket would be a better idea. Yes, more expensive, so we'll see. Depends on how well the like how much you feel like you need the mana. But the Holy Locket fulfills a very similar role because it gives you charges, right? So you're perpetually at 20 charges, and you just get it back up whenever you need to cast an important spell. Now, even Mango sometimes is a good idea. Like the two gauntlets are great for the lane, and you can deviate that to a Soul Ring. But for Abba, each item is crucial, right? You get to pick up 2, 3 items in the game. You don't have a great farming ability as a support, so you're a bit limited in that regard.
I don't know what that horse-headed kid did, but enough is enough.
Yeah. So, good punishing by Navi. Still really solid counter initiation on them. They didn't have to even use the Ravage there. So you have to be a bit wary of that on Empire. Like I said, the control of the early mid-game is still going to be Navi's favorite until Luna can come online and really join these fights. And the denial of Patushara and his game as a whole has really limited Empire's potential. Because what do you do when the BKBs come out and Mars is no longer this strong? Right? Well, how do you ensure that you can get these initiations off? Like Lina is fine. Winter Rival with a Winter's Curse perhaps might be needed early. You don't really have that much catch either. Navi at least can throw the Bushwhack and be done with it. That's fine with them. But you need to essentially use one of the big ultimates if you want to kill anything on Navi's side. Yeah.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Unworthy of the thought.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Alright. Yeah, I mean, Navi's also not pressed for time necessarily, right? They know when the Luna comes online, it'll become more difficult for them, but as long as they keep the network differential, it's fine. I do feel like you just need to play around these ultimates as much as possible, though. So now that Ravage is up, try to maybe close the tower here, see if Empire will respond, and hopefully we win this team fight with a Ravage online.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom tower has fallen.
Okay. Free tier 2 essentially, as long as like I said, the ultimates are up, because there's no way that Empire wants to fight that. And now they even catch bad score perhaps again. Do you really want to bad score? Oh, apparently you do. Oh my goodness, can't activate borrowed time.
Killing spree.
Did not die. Borrowed time, sorry. Bad score will still die. You know what? That double damage is way too strong. Call down, might still have the press kid, but is able to get away in time. Patushara staying away from those missiles. But these 3 kills on bad score. Sorry to pile on you in favor of NAVI.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's middle tower has fallen.
You said you were not my fault, Dad.
Your tide's gone out.
Okay. 5k lead in favor of NAVI now, taking down a really important kill in a Smiling Knight. And I mean, if you're Empire, I mean, there's a bit of pressure building up now, thinking how do we turn this around? If we have to keep sacrificing heroes to essentially make sure this goes our way, it's just going to be more and more lead going the way of NAVI. Well, I do feel like NAVI got pressured. And as long as the Ravage is up, NAVI's pretty free to do anything. Like take the long shots, to their towers. I think right now it's tier 1 up top that they want to take. But I heard a BKB. Okay, no, you gotta test it. You never sure the BKB is responsible enough. Yeah.
Radiant's top tower is under
You don't
attack.
play in competitive, so you don't understand. It's important. Oh yeah, that's scary. That's true, very good one actually. Alright, let's see, let's take the tower up top again.
Radiant's top tower
3 towers. Empire not even interested in fighting them whatsoever right now. They're trying to do the same and mirror them in the bottom lane, but your lack of team fight makes this a bit more difficult. So Naiko actually fights Patushara, that's your team fight, and take the board ready for Patushara trying to TP away. We have a Ravage and they're going to use it immediately. They do not want Patushara to live.
Mystery is how you lasted so long.
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
I agree. You have some insane save,
Dire's
and
top
honestly,
tower
Alina
is
can
under
be
attack.
really crucial in these team fights. In fact, it seems like the press kit might just become the win condition at this point, because it seems stronger than Luna right now. Already going for like the physical damage build to a degree on Luna. Hey, now I would say she's probably online. Maybe needs the BKB though. A bit dangerous to go without it, but you need to do something with the smoke to make sure that Navi doesn't get out of control. And the smoke into the triangle seems like a proper technique. They scan to make sure that the high ground was safe, and they go and take over the triangle. They have a ward here. No one though is hiding in the trees, invisible. Navi's probably smelling this because the lanes are pushed. No one doesn't want to be seen right now. They actually broke the sentry, which allows no one to retreat. And an Empire will just miss a smoke there.
The mysteries renew me.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's structures are fortified. Dire's bottom tower is under attack. Dire's bottom tower has fallen. Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant's top tower is under attack.
Killing spree. Onage.
Get a bit caught up there? What?
Where's my perfection?
Dire's middle tower is under attack.
Mine is truly a blessed life. Invisibility.
Dire are scanning. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Dire's middle tower has fallen.
Double damage.
Dire's middle tower is under attack. Roshan has fallen to the Dire. Dire's middle tower is under attack. Radiant are scanning.
That was unreal.
Not enough for you?
performance.
You beat the crowd.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack. Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Thanks from above.
Radiant's middle
So-
tower has
Oh,
fallen.
his own force staff. Okay,
Radiant's
I
middle
think that might have been
barracks
it. Actually, they're gonna come back in here. You know, Winter's Curse, V2 discarded it. The press kits, like I had to redeem myself, but Bushwhack stops him. Yeah, V2 in fact was turned this around, but they realized the press kit might have been too strong just yet. V2 needs to now run away. NAVI will be covering his escape. There's the offensive force that hit again by the press kit. Yeah, so that force staff was actually. I don't know that was on purpose, honestly, because that set up for the Bushwhack on the press kid. That made it difficult for him to actually hit outside the arena and take advantage of the walls. It put him in a vulnerable position.
Dire's top tower is under
Yeah, I don't know what
attack.
that was, to be honest with you. That was a bit odd. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. Yeah, I don't know what happened there, to be honest. What he thought, like, maybe he thought we're in full offensive potential, but it seems like you actually caught NAVI in a great arena. You now forced him into like a trio of weak heroes that couldn't hit through the walls, and you could just keep hitting them until they passed through the walls. And if they did, they were out of position. But you putting yourself there, it felt like that nullified all the effect of Fetushar's great arena initiation. Yeah, awesome.
Do you get off?
Such noble blood taints the soil.
I saw that ending from miles away.
This might be the point of no return now. With a 12k lead, NAVI haven't used the Ravage for a really valuable kill on the Lina. And Gyrocopter now beating the Luna considerably when it comes to net worth. You have a TS super farm as well.
Radiant's middle barracks are under attack.
But and the TA of course really lead is going to destroy them. You can now take maybe one lane of Rax perhaps, maybe back, and then wait for the next Roshan. But it is looking a bit scary for Empire. Those two Lina deaths were super significant. It was.
Radiant's middle barracks has fallen.
It was also the Purge. The Purge was a major deal there, the Demonic Purge, because they actually nullified two aquatic chills that were used to them in that period. It immediately exploded because, of course, they purged them out, right? And so you didn't really get all the damage mitigation. I don't think you would have won that either without it, but it was a major factor why the Lina felt so squishy. I thought she... what the press kid I'm imagining was thinking was, I can last long enough and keep stunning and, just kind of drive them away because I can always just play around with my fire and slow movement speed until Luna can come by. I just need to keep him in check. With Demonic Purge, you couldn't run away at all, and you also couldn't be saved by the aquatic shields. So it nullified a lot of the options that Empire had that fight. That was really on point. I mean, it's just clicking on the Lina, right? But acknowledging the strength of it was very important.
Radiant are scanning.
Tornado.
Navi trying to get a final kill on the press kit, force the Yule Scepter, there's no follow-up there, so the press kit at least won't die. We did force a bunch of buybacks here. In fact, if I was Navi, you just back out, you wait for the Roshan, because you know they're going to have to, you can force a fight after you get the Aegis, and then the buybacks will still be up, right? You don't need to force the buyback on the Luna necessarily. I mean, take over the Triangle, take over the last tier 2, that secures your Roshan completely, and force a really dangerous fight for Empire for the last fight in the game. That should settle it for you. Now you're leading considerably. Lina might get strong enough by then with the MKB, but I doubt it. It seems like no one is farming ridiculously faster, especially with all the map control.
Generation.
Nothing to say.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah, it's tough because like you need to get the perfect save now, and your execution becomes like your execution is so difficult for Empire this whole game. We'll talk about this a bit more in the post game though. Ramses, he fights with Tushar and says, "Yeah, fight me, bro. What? You think you can beat me? Demonic Pearl with Tushar? He's forced to BKB TP. For a Mars, 6 seconds is fine, but you still lost an important resource. You'll center to stop the tide. At least you prevented Ramses from gushing you. V2 still chasing after Sayu. Overall, as long as they keep control of this area of the map though, this is the Roshan area, so I don't think Navi is too concerned with the kills. I mean, if they can fight one, great, but... Yep. Yep. It's tough. If you're Empire, you're thinking, I mean, we need to do something, but if we're playing too risky, we just lose the game. And obviously, let's take advantage of this cowardice from them. They know they can't fight, so we'll just go for Petushar and the target here. They use a Ramses in the backlines to disturb Sayu, and that's Sayu dead. Petushar probably going to die soon as well, as soon as the Cold Embrace ends. That's going to be 2 kills for Navi. Oh, for a third one, thanks to the pushback, they might be able to catch up this Smiling Knight. But the BKB and Eclipse, now the TP immediately V2, does he have enough damage? With the help of no one, not going to be sufficient. Oh, never mind, he actually died to the Purge. Oh, wow. He died to the Purge there from Soneko. And now, if I've ever seen a free tower here, this is it. The press kit needs to defend this, but Navi seems unconcerned with the press kit's efforts.
Radiant's bottom barracks has fallen.
Yep.
Radiant's middle tower is under attack.
Yeah.
Killing spree. Or not.
Die back.
Dominating, I guess. Hello, this is Gabe Noah. Thanks for playing Dota 2. Double kill.
GG called by Empire. They're done with game number 1. But, you know, in true Empire fashion, if you lose game number 1, next 2 games are looking pretty good for them. They tried to lose the first game of the series to empower them for the next 2. Let's see if it's the case against Navi as well. That's an impressive performance by Navi for the most part. Really, really good games by them. I thought that they were such a good team at just putting Empire in a desperate position.